Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to take you in the kitchen with me while I try my hand at making a loaf of bread. I've made banana bread before, and I've tried to make a loaf of white bread one time before, and my loaf of white bread didn't turn out real good. So I'm going to try it again today, and I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. So come on, let's go get in that kitchen and let's make us a loaf of bread. Okay, to get started baking our bread, you want to take a bowl. Now, I'm just using this size right here because I'm going to be actually pouring this into our dry ingredients later. So, I've got 1 cup of very warm water. You want your water to be between 110 and 115 degrees because if it's too hot, then it's going to kill the yeast, and we don't want that. So I'm going to take my water and just pour it in my bowl. Now you want to take either 1 package, or I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of this quick rise yeast. And you're just going to put it in that water. Now we need something to feed this yeast, so I'm using 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm just going to dump that in. I'm just going to take a little beater whisk, and I'm just going to whisk that around so I can get that sugar dissolved. And then I'm actually going to let you watch the process of this starting to bloom, because it's so neat to watch it as it's happening right before your eyes. Now once you get those 3 ingredients mixed together, you just kind of set it to the side and let it do what it needs to do. You're going to let it sit there for probably between 5 and 10 minutes while that starts to bloom. It's going to get all nice and foamy, and that's what you want. The yeast has been activated by the sugar. It has started waking up and it's starting to bloom. Now our little yeast concoction back here is coming along just fine. So it's almost finished, and I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this prepared. You want to get you a nice big bowl, and you want to put 3 cups of all-purpose flour in it. And 3. Now don't put your bag of flour away just yet. You may need some. Next, I'm going to add in 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I think we'll go with just a little over 1. And I'm just going to take a whisk and kind of whisk that salt into that flour. And that's going to help me make sure there's no lumps in my flour also. Now you see how nice and foamy this is? We're going to take this, we're going to pour it into our flour. I'm just going to take my whisk and just start stirring it around, getting it all good and combined. And that don't take but a second until you're going to need to put your hands in it. Now I'm going to put in about 1/8 of a cup of oil. Now I'm using olive oil. I'm going to keep my spatula handy, but we're going to have to get our hands in there. So with clean hands, you just want to go in and get all that mixed up really well. You want to pick up all of that dry flour on the bottom. You just want to keep doing this till you get all of this combined into that dough. And once you get finished combining it, there shouldn't be anything left in your bowl, okay? But now I'm going to take this over here, and we're going to knead this dough for about probably somewhere around 5 to 8 minutes. We're just going to knead it till we think it's done. Now if you have a KitchenAid mixer or, you know, a big stand mixer, and you have a dough hook, by all means, use that dough hook. It's going to save your hands. But I don't have one of those, so, I mean, I could take this over to my daughter's house and use hers, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to knead this dough, and then we'll get ready for the next step. Now, I've got my cutting board out here, and you can use whatever you want to use. You can use a countertop, whatever you want to use to roll it out, or to knead it. I'm not going to roll it out. I don't know why I said roll it out. I'm not making biscuits. Just sprinkle you a little bit of flour down. Then you want to take your dough. Just get it out here on this cutting board. And we're going to let the fun begin. You just want to take this dough and just knead it. Now, I'm probably not the best kneader in the world. That's okay. It's not going to be perfect. This is only the second loaf of white bread that I've ever tried to make in my entire life, and I'm almost 58 years old, so I don't expect it to be perfect. I probably should have set me a timer, but I didn't. I'm looking at the clock. But I'm going to do this for about 8 minutes, so I'm not going to bore you with that. That's just how I knead. It's kind of a job. That's okay though. This bread, I already know, is going to be delicious. And if you start sticking it all to your board, just put you a little more flour down. Okay? Alright, I'm going to see you now probably in about 7 minutes. I'm only about 3 minutes in, but I forgot to tell you. We're kneading this dough so that it activates the gluten in that flour. And this is what's going to give us a nice texture in our bread. Okay? Hopefully this bread's going to be very soft. Only time will tell. Let me get back to kneading this dough. Now you want to take that same bowl that you were mixing your dough up in, and you want to take you some oil. You want to get you some oil down in there. Now it's okay if you got fragments, little pieces of flour or whatever from where you were doing your dough. That's perfectly fine. So now you want to take this dough, and look how smooth and pretty that is. You want to take your dough that you've been kneading for the past 8 minutes, if you've done it by hand, and you want to put it down here in this bowl with this oil. You want to get that whole ball of dough just nice and coated in that oil. Your dough ball. Now with your dough ball in the bowl, you're just going to take a kitchen towel, put over your bowl, and just set it off to the side. You want it in a warm spot. And we're going to let that rise for between 1 and 2 hours. You want it to double in size. Okay, it's been an hour. We're going to uncover this and see how big it's gotten. Okay. That right there is just not quite enough for me, so I'm going to put this towel back over it. And I'm going to set this for another 30 minutes. And we'll check it again. Okay, I checked my dough after that next 30 minutes and I still wasn't pleased with it, so I waited another 30. So it's been in this bowl under this towel for a total of 2 hours now. It has doubled in size. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to, it's full of air, I'm just going to punch it down. We're going to take it back over here to our cutting board, get it out of this bowl, and get it in the pan. That looks nice. This dough looks really nice. Look at that. I'm just going to take it and roll it. I think I'm going to put a little bit of flour down on my cutting board. Let me sprinkle just a little bit of flour down there. It's not going to hurt that dough at all. Let me get my dough back out here. Now you're going to take a loaf pan. You can use a metal pan, a glass pan. I have a cast iron. And I'm going to pour me a little bit of olive oil in there. You just want to grease your pan really well. I'm just going to take a paper towel. And I'm just going to grease the sides and the bottom of my pan really well. Now I know I'm going to get some comments about cast iron on my glass stove top, and it's okay. I've been using cast iron on it for a hot minute, so. And I know accidents happen. I know they do. I'm not saying they can't. But my stove is 20 years old, and I've been using cast iron on it for almost 20 years. So, got my pan greased. We'll get it set back down here. Let's get our dough in there. Okay, so here's my dough. I'm just going to get it put down in my pan. But I do know we're going to set this over here. That looks kind of pitiful, but that's okay. We're going to set it over here, and we're going to cover it back up while it's in this pan because we need it to rise again. We're just going to set it over here for another 30 minutes. See you then. Okay, y'all, we're going to uncover this loaf of bread and just see. Oh, yeah, that looks nice. So here you go. That was the last rise. You see how well it rose. We're going to stick this in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. I'll check it at 25 and just see how it's coming along. And we'll pull it out, brush us some butter on top, and let it cool. Let's get this in the oven. Now my bread is almost ready. This whole house smells amazing. Fresh bread, just, oh wow, smells so good. So I'm putting just a little butter in this little small bowl, and I'm going to put it in the microwave and melt it down so we can get ready to brush this bread when it comes out of the oven. Here is my loaf of bread fresh out of the oven. I'm going to take it on over here to my cutting board, and we're going to go ahead and turn it out. Here we go. Oh, look how beautiful that came out. Love this pan. Okay, we're going to get this bread flipped over. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take my melted butter. We're going to brush this butter all over the top of this fresh baked bread. I wish you could smell this bread. Now I will say this. This is a second attempt at making a loaf of white bread, and I can already tell you this looks so much better than the first one. Till it's got to taste better. The first one tasted okay. It wasn't the right texture. It's hard to explain. And I'm sure that it was operator error on my part. I'm going to let this cool for a little while before I cut into it. I want it to slice really well. My downfall is not having enough patience. I probably should wait just a little while longer to let this cool some more, but I really, really want to cut into this loaf of bread because it smells so good. See the texture inside? Oh goodness. This is delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Okay, y'all. Now, if you've never made white bread before, you need to do it. This was very simple. So easy to do. Only 6 ingredients. This tastes amazing. This is the butt end, as I call it. Other people call it something else, I'm sure, but I've always called it the butt. And it's even amazing. I didn't put any extra butter on it. Y'all, this bread, homemade bread is where it's at. And if you are a beginner baker, you can make this. You don't have to have a stand mixer to make this. No special equipment. Just a bread pan. Y'all. Wow. Just wow. I know what I'm having for my dinner tonight. I'm having me a chicken salad sandwich. On this freshly baked loaf of white bread. I might not should have baked that loaf of bread. That is finger looking good. Yeah. Go bake your loaf of bread. You will not regret it. Okay, y'all. I made me a chicken salad sandwich. Now, I will say, I cut my bread kind of thick, okay? We're going to take a bite of this sandwich. This bread is good. There you have it. This bread is delicious. Don't be scared to try baking bread. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please go give it a thumbs up. Share the video and leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite bread is, or if you've ever baked a loaf of bread yourself. This is my second attempt at plain white loaf bread, and this one actually turned out good. I'll see you in the next video.